Today I'm taking a detour from the series of Reb Chaim Shmuel Levitz's talks back in 1973, just to address the day. It's the day after Tisha B'Av, and to point out how important it is during an episode like the one we're going through, not to wait until the end of the episode for the miracle to happen. And not to feel that there's going to be one great miracle at the end and that's the nes that we're all waiting for, because that risks missing the multitude of nisim, the multitude of miracles that take place along the way. Just consider the last day or so. We were fairly sure, as sure as one could be under these circumstances, that there would be an Iranian attack or a Hezbollah attack or an attack from both of them sometime during the period of Tisha B'Av. They'd made it clear that that was the plan. The date had been set aside from a long time ago. The intelligence information that was reported in the press indicated activity that would seem to show that an attack was imminent. It was almost sure that we would not have a peaceful Tisha B'Av. And yet we did. And we did because, of course, it was the will of Hashem. But just look how it plays out. That the United States brings a massive part of its military might into the area, together with that of all of its allies, to intimidate Iran, to keep its hands off Israel. Now, we don't know whether that's going to be a long-term solution. Probably not. We don't know whether there's going to be an attack later today or later this week or next week. We don't know. But what we do know is that here in Israel, we had a peaceful Tisha B'Av. And that was enormously important and very miraculous because it was unanticipated. I've always said that a miracle is when something occurs where the odds are low and the upside is high. The odds were low that there wouldn't be anything on Tisha B'Av. But the upside is high. A peaceful Tisha B'Av was particularly valuable and important to us this year. This was the first Tisha B'Av that our post-Holocaust generation has been able to personalize and actualize Tisha B'Av, where the whole nation in Israel, secular and religious, right-wing and left-wing, people from all different sectors got together. They got together in public squares. They got together in media forums. They got together in private social forums. People got together and shared the loss, the suffering, the hardship, and the heroism of these amazing human beings that we've lost over the last 10 months. And I spoke in Shul on Tisha B'Av, how the Kinot help us understand the importance of not ignoring the individual heroes that we've lost. It's not just about the number of people. It's not just about 6 million people in the Holocaust. If it would have been 1 million people, it would have been just as bad. If it would have been 100,000 people, it would have been bad. If it would have been 1,000 people, it would have been bad. And we did have a Holocaust of over 1,000 people on October the 7th. And since then, we've lost people. And what's important is you look at the Kinot, and particularly at the very first Kinah in history, that of King David, when he laments the loss of the king Shaul and of David's dear friend Yehonatan, Shaul's son. And you see in that lamentation, in that Kinah, that he talks personally about the loss of somebody so great as King Saul, a friend so dear as Yehonatan, to understand that it's the tzaddikim who, as Chazal say, are the klei milchama. It's these righteous people who go to war with pure intent and love for the Jewish people in their hearts, sacrifice their lives, whose families support them in the sacrificing of their lives. It's these tzaddikim who are the korbanot. They are the sacrifices that we need to show honor to, that we need to embrace with love and admiration and respect and awe, and realize that their lost lives are for our living lives, that they are enabling that and have enabled that. And this Tisha B'Av was so important because it had such a different meaning. The energy of this Tisha B'Av was different from any previous Tisha B'Av I've ever experienced. And many people are telling me the same. It was a time that everybody was involved in mourning loss and in optimism and prayer for the future. And the prayers of this Tisha B'Av are going to be part of what turns things around, part of what brings about a long-term solution in a most miraculous way, and we don't know what that looks like yet. We needed Tisha B'Av. We needed a peaceful Tisha B'Av. We needed a Tisha B'Av to mourn together, and the Iranians were set on depriving us of doing so. And through Hashem's plans, the nations of the world, of the Western world, come together in an unprecedented way. Nations who are often united in their criticism of Israel and not united in much else, have been united in threatening Iran to keep its hands off Israel. And again, we don't know how long that threat will last, but it lasted for Tisha B'Av. And that's what's really important, that we had this Tisha B'Av together, that we were able to mourn our losses, to celebrate our heroes, and to daven for the future together as one nation of Israel.